Oh, Michelle, is it?
Yeah, this is Michelle speaking.
Hi, this is Ryan here. I think we're messaging
Oh,
over
hey,
Twitter.
how are you?
Hi, yeah, hope you had a good Christmas.
You too, you too.
Do you have a few minutes to talk, or?
Yeah, go for it, go for it.
Cool, cool. Yeah, so just a bit of intro on ourselves. Like, we're a group of mainly sort of Republican students, north and south, and what we're doing is sort of compiling a sort of database of the sort of far right on campus and elsewhere,
Yeah,
and gathering info and, proceeding to sort of approach employers and sort of academic authorities and whatnot.
yeah. And
Standard
are
sort
you
of
based on
operation.
like one campus, or are you kind of?
Queen's, Trinity, Maynooth, and hopefully UCC and NUIG.
Oh, brilliant.
Obviously, this is very below board, but
Oh, of course. This phone call basically never happened.
yeah, Jesus. Yeah, so we all we want to nail these people in the bud,
Brilliant.
um, obviously just scanning through your sort of social media, it's very clear we're not dealing with a liberal here. So
Yeah. You're not. You're not, and that sometimes gets you in trouble. Sometimes,
yeah,
in
so
the sphere that I'm in or whatever. But sure, look, we have to keep shifting it more to the left. Is the general aim of things.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically we're here to do the stuff that people in sort of polite society can't.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what position do you actually have at the UCI? We're just curious
So
ourselves.
my position is deputy of USI, but also campaigns. So I coordinate all of the campaigns and roll them out. So we have policy officers. I don't know if you're familiar with the structure in USI, but we have policy officers as well. So for example, we'd have and that's the kind of person in this area that you might be interested in, kind of how their work progresses. But I obviously have a lot of influence in that area as well, where I can direct campaigns to go further left or in a certain direction, messaging wise and stuff like that is kind of where I come in and that. But yeah, so her name is, and she
What's
was
the
actually the
surname?
one who.
Okay, and would she be of the same mind as ourselves?
No, she would be liberal, but everyone's becoming a lot more open to moving slightly
Yeah,
less liberal, which is
Green
good.
Party to PPP, the Green Party types are probably happy with sort of anti-fascist work. The more sort of people further to the left know what the score is with the right.
Yeah. She doesn't seem to have any problem with your page or anything. Obviously, she is in her work capacity. She has to be careful about it. But just casual chat, she seems to be grand. She was the one who was oh yeah, share it off the students' page there, and she sent the link over, and that's why we sent it off our main account about
Yep,
the post that you
that's
put up
very
for the
much
rally for peace.
appreciated. I know a few.
Yeah.
There are a few liberals that I think who are fuming about that, but it's very much appreciated. As you
Oh
said,
yes, lots of people were fuming.
but it shifts it left. It shifts it left. Just
Yeah.
normalise. Just in terms of minds and these USI Council, what other names would we have?
Well, he's our potentially going to be replacing me next year. He's looking to run for my position,
Mm-hmm.
because I make the gap now in June because I've done 2 years in this position.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a good head and he's getting lefter every day, which is great.
Yeah.
I maybe telling him what directions to look at, so that's helpful
Okay.
that he's in the office as
That's
well.
good. It's good to
But
have
it means that potential, if he wins the election or whatever, you'll have a good head from July onwards as well.
cool.
So that's obviously good.
What are you planning yourself in the future? Just
Don't know, actually. Kind of just going to wing it and see what happens. I obviously like campaigns and stuff like that, but we'll have to see what kind of comes up, really. I don't know.
Okay.
I'm fairly derailed from what my original plan was. So
Yeah, I suppose
I kind of
we're all that way. But
yeah.
would you yourself, or would the UCI had any other sort of anti-fascist sort of would you have done
Yeah,
something
well,
similar, or beyond the sort of usual anti-racist stuff?
no, actually, there isn't a specific group or anything like that. But
Okay.
you'd never know. This could spur more people to come on
Yeah.
and do stuff like this.
Just to be clear,
I know
this
we've
is
already had alerts out ourselves because in September we would have seen the National Party posters going up on campuses without permission and stuff.
I'm
So
very
that would
happy to have
happen.
burnt one of those, by the way.
Brilliant! I'm delighted. I'm delighted. Yeah, no, there was one in TU Dublin City Campus, if you're familiar with it. We got sent pictures of it, and then we just sent out like basically an alert to all of the officers. So that's kind of the beauty of our network. If it happens in one place, you see a lot of people. You see, with the National Council, like, so obviously our National Council is made up of all of the full-time elected officers across the country that are in our membership. So the only two that aren't in our membership at the moment are UL and UCD. But I think the UCD thing might be, I think they might be coming on board soon, but we'll see. But like the beauty of our network is basically like if something comes up our way, then we can send out like ripples to every campus to be like, right, keep an eye on for this or whatever. So one thing was the National Party was creeping up all over the place in September around the time of freshers. The posters that looked, I'll actually send you a picture of it, putting up posters that looked like they were real, like, they looked like they were like gay friendly, and it was like, oh, start a revolution, and this is a country of death or something like that. It was really weird. Anyway, I can send it over to you if you haven't seen it.
As I said, I torched a few myself, but like,
that's the one that
it's
you
good, yeah.
Okay.
Just in terms of obviously below board, if we I know it varies per college, but we have a few names of their sort of activists in college, and in terms of what the UCI can do for us, in terms of like making them famous and making sure there are repercussions for like right-wing actors on campus, what can you guys help us with?
So, what are you talking about, like doxing or?
Doxing / repercussions or social shaming or stuff even beyond that.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So we can't single out people, if you get me. Like we can't dox people.
But you would if you could.
Obviously, look, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely, as you know yourself, I'm definitely bound by some limitations in this position. But with the doxing, we can't. But what I can like help advise you is maybe like looking at disciplinary policies in colleges. So like to be honest with you, and like I've done it myself, a lot of them are absolute shit shows. And will go on for months and are not the most productive. But if it really starts shaking people that you're going to an actual process. The only problem is that might start outing some of you. Because I'm not sure, you might have to put the policy is completely different in every single college. So depending on what college the student is in, and all of that, that'll be maybe an issue depending on what the policy is. But you'll be able to know that once you have up the policies yourself. Like, can you do anonymous or whatever? Most of them wouldn't, as far as I'm aware. But I can check that. But like you'll have to check it on like basically a local basis. So like if you want to complain about a student in Maynooth who's a fascist and going through that way, you'd have to look at the Maynooth policy.
Okay.
So it's normally called like the dignity and respect policy is normally what you're looking at.
In Queens and TCD it's what that's the name of the policy.
So that's typically it.
Just in terms of beyond that, would you obviously yourself when you supply names, we can pass it on to people who can slap them around.
Absolutely.
You're okay with that. Just
no, that's good. And like I could probably send you a couple, but if you do at the moment, what's happening? A couple of complaints came in, obviously, after we shared your post. So they're kind of outing themselves a little bit to us.
Yes, you're happy to send on names, and we can pass it to.
Yeah,
people
absolutely. But the only thing is, like, I could maybe pass you a name so you can have them on like a watch list because they haven't done anything publicly yet. They've only like written emails to us, and obviously nobody can know that you got the name from me. If you get me, so maybe you want to put them on watch list.
Okay.
But
if you even have them now, I have a pen and paper. If I can write down a few names.
I actually don't have them off the top of my head. I'd have to look through our emails, but. I can have a look at them. Look for them.
We can arrange another call. I think it's we're sort of coordinating with a few groups, but we'll sort of wed this all together. But you're happy to do so.
Yeah, look. To be honest, I'd say you're going to find a lot of links going back to Young Fine Again.
I don't know if you've seen our sort of recent spot.
I did. Charles. Yeah.
It's usual stuff. Like it's either YFG, the Burkean, or the few sort of NP heads. It's a sort of, and there's a lot of cross pollination.
Absolutely.
You mentioned go on.
Yeah, go ahead. I was going to say you do well if you could get someone on the inside at the YFG conferences, because what I've heard is media aren't allowed to go or don't go to it, but it's an absolute shit show internally there with those conferences. Now, sorry.
No, it's not
so I don't know how in any shape, way, shape or form, I just know someone who used to work for a Fine Gael politician and was asked to go to the event to kind of like, you know, take notes or whatever. And she said it to me, now this was not this year's one, it was the year before. And she said that if the media were allowed in that room, like, good luck to Fine Gael, even the main party.
Oh, we could nail so many careers, like,
yeah, it's so horrific, like, it's terrible, like, the amount of racism and everything, like, proper fascists in there, as you know yourself, like, you've seen Killian and all, like, he's bad enough, but there's more, like, he's just the one who's after getting a lot of the online kind of, you know, that kind of side of things. So I don't know how you could do it.
If you have any names to help us in this, you know, destroy some careers.
Yeah, absolutely. If I can try. Like, that conversation was like a year ago, but I can definitely try look it up. But there's definitely some counsellors that were involved, because they'd still fall under the YFG if they're under 35. So so
just to clarify, we're hoping to launch a sort of like a blog spot to sort of publicise these names. So, like, if you want to send them on, confidence. We can do our own sort of research.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and feel free as well.
Right.
But any like minds you want to send on, obviously any ideas that you guys can't enact for like saving face, we can do the sort of illegal stuff, so to speak.
Absolutely. And then I suppose, like, is there anything that I can do in my capacity in work to help you without obviously saying that I'm helping you?
Yeah, like we'll do the illegal stuff for you.
Is there anything that in particular that I can?
The key things: pass on names to potentially slap these people around. To cover us, don't disavow. Keep the Liberals in line, and 3, pass along sort of contacts and sort of below the table journalists, NGOs, and we'll make contact with them and hopefully make use of them.